anything about?
Hey, Go Gilbert! We are live here with Jeff Smith with Cross Country Mortgage and the Smith team, mortgage lender extraordinaire. So we are so humbled to have you. So if you guys haven't been watching, every day we're doing a Go Gilbert small business spotlight, spotlighting small businesses that are local in the community for exposure, and also so we know how to help you guys during this crazy time. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Ann. Yeah, really excited to be here. Good morning to everybody at Go Gilbert.
Awesome. So Jeff, I know you, but give everyone a little background of who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Seattle, live in the Chandler area. I've been in the mortgage business for 14 years. My team, we're with Cross Country Mortgage, which is a national independent mortgage banking company. Our office is in Chandler off of Gilbert Road in between Germain and Queen Creek.
You're just across the street from Gilbert, I have to add.
Just a stone's throw from Gilbert.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do all residential lending, so purchase and refinance lending.
Perfect. And one thing I have to say, because you didn't mention it, is they have excellent customer service. So great opportunities to be loved on and just really handheld through the whole process. So that's some great feedback that we've had. They have some fun ways to make the process fun, I guess.
Yeah, when I'm in the community doing business, I love to work with companies that provide a great experience, like not just do what I would expect as a consumer, but exceed my expectations as a consumer. I like to feel well taken care of, valued, appreciated, and we try to carry all that through in our business because we're in a service-based business. So really what we sell is the experience of working with our team. And so we want to make sure that our clients know what to expect from beginning to end, that they get the best product to fit their financial goals and their needs. And then we want to take them through that process, having a little bit of fun and showing them how much we care about them as people and as clients. So I want to be our client's mortgage advisor for life.
Yes, and I was just going to say, so not only through the experience, but onwards, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And here you go in a market like we're in today, where there's opportunities to save a lot of money by refinancing your mortgage. So these are the types of things that we monitor for our clients and let them know when it can make sense for them to do.
Well, that was a perfect segue. We didn't even plan. But what are mortgage rates looking like today?
Yeah, so mortgage rates are at an all-time low. 30-year fixed is in the low 3% range, depending on on your credit and the terms of the loan and the whole scenario. But mortgage rates have never been lower. Unfortunately, it takes a bad event to drive rates down. And we're going through a tough event as a community, but there are some silver linings. One of which being interest rates are really low. So if you have a mortgage that starts with a 4, you should be talking to a company like us to look at your options for refinancing and saving money on the interest that you're paying.
That's perfect. Yes. So we're talking about rates and refinances. So what about purchasing a home?
Yeah. Purchasing a home this is a great time to buy a home as well. Obviously in a market like this, there's a lot of speculation as to what's going to happen in the real estate market. And,
Sure.
Everybody's got an opinion. And I don't think anybody really knows for sure what's going to happen with the market going forward. There's a lot of unknowns. This whole event is an unknown. No one's ever gone through something like this before. So it's really hard to say. So I like to focus on what do we know for sure today. And what we know for sure today is that mortgage rates are at an all-time low. You've never been able to get a lower rate on a mortgage than you have today. And today, we're still seeing a lot of demand for home purchases. We still have clients who are making offers on homes, and there's multiple offers. It's not quite as difficult as it was 2 or 3 months ago. So if you're a buyer today, it's a great opportunity to be able to find a good home and not have quite as much competition against other buyers. And if you're a seller today, there's still plenty of buyers out there who want to buy a home. So even if we see values go down some, because rates are so low today, that really offsets a decrease in values to a certain extent because you can save so much money on the interest for the mortgage.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have a question from a Facebook user. What's a 15-year fixed currently at?
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors that go into an interest rate: credit score, how much equity you have, what type of property you have, whether you're refinancing just to lower your rate or take equity out of the home. So I want to preface this with there's a lot of factors that go into it, but a 15-year fix is in the mid 2% range today.
Mid 2%.
Yes.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which is crazy to say. Yeah, to even
It's
have a
like
two
free
at the
money.
beginning of it. Yeah, it's nuts.
That is such well, and that's for people who don't know, a 15-year. I guess the goal would be to just get that mortgage paid off sooner, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you go for a 15-year to try and pay off your loan sooner. You get a lower rate if you finance a 15-year versus a 30-year. Although we are seeing that spread compress a little bit, meaning that the 15-year rates and 30-year rates are starting to get closer together right now. But yeah, 15 years is a great option if you want to pay down the loan faster. And and sometimes people are at the point where they're refinancing where they're already halfway through the loan. So maybe they're not trying to accelerate the payoff of the
Oh, sure.
mortgage, but they just don't want to restart to another 30 years. So 15 years is a great
Oh,
option for
that
that.
makes sense. Because,
Yeah.
okay, so say you only have 20 years left on your mortgage. If you refinance, does that bump up to now you're looking at 30 years again?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, if you're on if you've had a 30-year mortgage and you're 10 years into it, so you have 20 years remaining on the loan. If you refinance to a new 30-year mortgage, then you are going to start the 30-year clock over again.
Oh,
But that would, that brings your monthly payment down a lot. So there's always this balance between monthly cash flow and paying off the loan. So you can reduce monthly cash flow by extending the term, but then you're also going to extend how long it takes to pay off the loan. So
right.
sometimes what people do is, if you had 20 years left on your loan, you could refinance to another 30-year at a lower interest rate, continue making the same payment you're making today. And now instead of paying off the loan in 20 years, you might pay it off in 15 years because you're paying less interest by lowering the
Oh,
rate.
gotcha. Well, and I think a lot of it maybe depends on people's goals. So maybe
Exactly.
the goal is to get the lowest payment possible, just knowing that your goal is not to pay off the house. Because, I mean, how many people actually stay in houses for 30 years,
Right.
especially in Arizona?
Well, it's true, and depending on your age and what your financial plan is and your retirement goals. I mean, especially looking at today's rates, you figure 30-year fixed in the low threes. If we look at the S&P 500 over the last 30 years, it averages around 7.5%. So yeah, we're in a tough market today, but long term, it's going to continue its growth. So if you have a 30-year mortgage at 3.25 and you take that extra money and you put it in the stock market at 7 or 7.5%, you're making an extra 4.5% spread on that money.
Yeah, I love it. You're making money. Making money
Make your
by
money,
spending money.
make your money work for you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, speaking about homeowners and homeownership, is there any economic relief for homeowners in this time?
Yeah, so there's a couple programs that are out right now that are part of the CARES Act, and the CARES Act is part of the $2 trillion stimulus package that the government recently passed. So a couple components of that. There is a mortgage forbearance program. So forbearance is not the same as forgiveness. Forbearance means that you can defer mortgage payments for up to 12 months if you're going through a financial hardship as a result of COVID. So you need to talk to the servicer of your mortgage. That's who you're making your mortgage payment to currently. Let them know that you're experiencing a hardship due to COVID, and then you can defer your payments to a later date. So some of the options for that is that you defer them to a later date and repay it in one lump sum, I don't recommend doing that. Another option is to defer them to a later date and then repay them over a 6-month period. And then what I think is the best option, and the option that you should push your servicer for, is to defer the mortgage payments and have them tacked on to the end of the loan. So if you had 25 years remaining on your loan and you deferred 6 months worth of payments, now you'd have 25 years and 6 months remaining on your loan. So you could get up to 12 months without having to make a mortgage payment and have it deferred. So that's called forbearance. And so you need to call your current servicer to ask about your options for that. There's different types of loans, and the CARES Act specifically helps government-backed loans, which are about 50% of the loans out there. So you want to talk to your servicer and find out your specific options
Which
there.
type of loan you have. Yeah, because a lot of
Yes.
people probably have no idea. I mean, I
Yes.
probably wouldn't if I wasn't in this, you buy the house and you forget about it.
Right. You're making your payment and you're living in your house, so you're not really thinking about it. But and I'd be happy to help anyone too if they had any questions on that. You could always reach out to us and I can help.
Perfect. And I believe it's his contact, and we've got your contact information in the post too, so can find you online. Phone number there is there. So
yeah, happy to help anytime. And then there's also a program for business owners. It's called the Paycheck Protection Program. So it's a PPP loan through the Small Business Administration. So the PPP program allows for small businesses to get a short-term loan to cover operating costs and specifically payroll costs. So if I'm a small business and I have 5 people on my payroll, I can apply for this loan. And as long as I don't lay any of my employees off, and as long as I don't drastically cut their pay over an 8-week period, that loan that I get will become forgiven. So I won't have to repay any of it. So it becomes a grant. So you can apply for up to 2.5 times your average operating costs over 12 months. So if you take your operating expenses over the last 12 months, average that out per month, your loan can be up to 2.5 times that amount. And so as long as you keep your employees on payroll for 8 weeks, then you don't have to repay any of that money. If you are not eligible for the forgiveness, the loan itself is a 2-year loan at an interest rate of 1%, and there's no fees associated with the loan. So even if you have to repay it, it's a really low interest loan that you can float yourself. And that's for anyone who's a small business as defined by the SBA, and including independent contractors, so like real estate agents, sole proprietors, and nonprofits. So really good opportunity out there to get access to some capital at a really low rate of interest. And you would apply for that through a bank. So you don't go through the SBA. You would go to, just whoever you bank with is a good place to start. And they can guide you through that application process.
Well, yeah, and I know one thing you mentioned is maybe not going to the largest banks, because those are the ones getting hit hardest, probably with online applications, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would tend to try and find a mid-sized bank or credit union or regional bank. They're not going to have as many applications coming in as some of the bigger institutions, so you probably get it processed faster there versus one of the biggest banks.
Gotcha. Well, there's so much information here, and we could probably talk for a couple more hours and pick your brain, but we're all crazy busy and got to get back on the phones, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you guys, thanks so much for watching. This was another Go Gilbert Business Spotlight with Jeff Smith, the Smith team at Cross Country Mortgage. If you missed the beginning, they do a phenomenal job for their clients and also for the community. So thank you so much. They are a local family-owned business. So if you have any questions at all, they can reach out to Jeff. What's your website?
www.smith-team.com.
Perfect. And they will get back to you with any questions you might have, because I'm sure everybody has kind of individual one-off situations. So
yeah, that's great, Ann. And I'll add one more thing in too.
Yeah.
If you'd like us to take a look at your mortgage and just do a free review, you can email me your most recent mortgage statement, and I'll take a look at it, and we'll schedule a 30-minute call to look at your options and see if it would make sense for you to refinance. And and I've told a few people it doesn't make sense for them to refinance. The savings isn't big enough. So I'm definitely happy to give you an honest evaluation.
Such a nice guy. Look at you. Such a giver. Well, we really appreciate it. And so thanks again. You have a great rest of your day. So we're talking to Jeff on mortgages, but also, in case you haven't heard, my name is Ann Schude with the Schude Group at Keller Williams Integrity First. And we are out here. We are working. We are essential, if you haven't heard that part. So call us if you have any questions about options for buying or selling a house in this crazy market, because as Jeff mentioned, interest rates are low, sellers are still getting multiple offers. So
And I'll
that's it.
and if you don't mind, I'll add in one more thing. Our business is primarily referral based and referred from realtors within the community here and in the Southeast Valley. And Ann and Mike and their team are among the very best realtors in the Southeast Valley. If I was buying or selling a home today, I would call them. And so definitely, if you want an analysis on what your options are for selling your home, that these two are the best of the best and will take great care of you.
Thank you, Jeff. And I didn't even pay him for that, I swear. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You guys have a great Monday. It's Monday. We're going to have a crazy busy week. So Mike's telling me to cut it off. I can talk forever. Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Tell everybody
Thanks,
at the
Ann.
Smith team hi.
Will do. Thank you so much. Have a great
Bye.
day.
You too.